The federal government has awarded a $6 million gas contract to a producer wholly owned by a massive Chinese company, said to have close links to the country's Communist Party. Westside Corporation is part of the Chinese-owned Landbridge Group, which one defence analyst says acts as an arm of the communist government. There are also questions about whether any gas produced under the grant will have to go into the domestic market, as promised by the federal government. Mark Willisey reports.
It's November 2014 and the then Prime Minister Tony Abbott and the Chinese President Xi Jinping witness a deal for China's Landbridge Group to take over Australian gas producer Westside. The big winner in the deal is the man to President Xi's right, Landbridge's founder and chairman, the low-profile billionaire Ye Chong. He's also a member of the People's Political Consultative Conference, an advisory body to the Chinese Parliament.
There is nothing that I have seen that indicates any indication other than this is a private company driven by commercial drivers.
You have to work on the basis that that Landbridge is really acting as an arm of the Chinese government when it makes its big foreign investment decisions overseas.
Last month, the federal government awarded a $6 million grant to Westside under its gas acceleration program.
The gas acceleration program was set up to increase the supply of gas to domestic users in Australia.
Government grants consultant Ben Cusack has studied the Commonwealth's grant agreement and says there's nothing in it binding the company to supply the gas domestically.
In theory, Westside could develop the gas processing facilities and send the gas offshore. They only need to spend the money on eligible plant and equipment.
But both Westside and the Minister Matt Canavan say that under the funding agreement, gas from Westside's new wells will have to be channelled into the East Coast domestic market. But one analyst doubts that will do anything to alleviate shortages.
An extra 8 to 10 wells being drilled in the Meridian project is going to have an immaterial impact on overall gas pricing and supply and demand dynamics.
Regardless of where the gas goes, some argue that Landbridge has access to billions of dollars from China if it wants to develop its Australian gas fields.
They don't particularly need an easy $6 million from Australian taxpayers.
But the federal government says Westside is eligible for the money, as it's a business incorporated in Australia. Mark Willisey, ABC News.